Hi friends, good evening. Welcome to our next tutorial on Android and AndroIndian. So in this tutorial, we will start on Flutter development. So how to create a Flutter apps using Flutter? We can build applications for Android and iOS. So, but what is this? How it can be? We can see in detail in coming sessions. So before that, here first we need to discuss on something. So just I'll add here one text on this. So that is introduction of Flutter. Today we'll discuss in this tutorial just introduction of Flutter. So before entering into this Flutter word, I want to discuss something on this. So generally, we are developing mobile applications using native framework like Android or iOS. So those all are using Java, Swift or Objective C. So using those languages we are building application. Like if I want to develop an Android application, we are using either Java or Kotlin. If I want to develop an iOS application, I'm using as a Swift or Objective C. Like this, we are using different these things, that is using their respective native library, or we can say as a framework. So using native framework, we are developing application. But what is the drawback if I am doing like this? So there is, we cannot say exactly that is a drawback. But if I want to develop one application using Android and iOS separate, it will time consuming and more resource. So for that, we have some other platforms which we can develop with single code base with applications. So those we can say as a cross-platform applications. So when we want to plan any application which can be suitable for both operating systems like Android and iOS, there are some frameworks already available which normally we can use, like using HTML, JavaScript, like such kind of different frameworks are available in market. But those applications, there is a major drawback is there, and that is development is little bit complex and performance is very slow, because like it is an HTML page, loading an entire HTML page in a mobile app, it's a little bit complication, and it will simply, it can say, time consuming in the sense it has more loading time. So definitely the performance will decrease there. So to overcome this drawback, the Flutter as simple and high performance. This has high performance. Why? Because Flutter UI can directly load. See, Flutter UI means just it's normally if I'm using Android, means it's a Java, using Java, there I'm design UI using using XML. So that cannot directly convert, means that application cannot directly connecting to the operating system. It is connecting to XML. XML is connecting to the operating system. But here in case of Flutter is directly communicating with the operating system canvas rather than native framework. Instead of native framework like other framework, it directly connecting with the operating system. So direct connection. So what happens in case of direct connection? The performance is high. It can be load fast and the performance should be the high. So also Flutter has many other features like a lot of UI widgets are predefined. So those all are like it can support latest frameworks like material design, everything, so that the application can easily design this. And all widgets, those all are optimized for mobile and tab environment. Designing apps widgets simple, like very simple, like it's HTML. We can design very simple, it's HTML. And one more major advantage of this Flutter is Flutter application itself, it's a one widget. Means here all the UI whatever we are designing, that is one widget. So here Flutter application itself, it's a widget. When in a Flutter widget, maybe like app logic can be on the reactive programming based on this is a means it's a based on the reactive program. So the widget may optional has a state. Sometimes widget has a state, sometimes it's a stateless. That depends on the application how we are using. Sometimes it's a state, sometimes it's a stateless. But when we are render from one state to other state, automatically the widget can itself take the decision and it can automatically change the state without any rendering. So that is a major advantage of this. So here apart from this, there are some other features are there, so we can see those features of this. So it's a Flutter is the modern reactive framework. It's a modern reactive framework. So we can build application reactive framework. So we can easily build the applications, and it is a Dart program. So already a lot of people know about this Dart language. So it's a Dart program language. It's a very simple to learn. There is no complications, and development should be simple and fast. We can develop applications simple and fast. It can't take time. Why? Because if I am developing a native application, so I need to write the code in two languages, but here one language and one testing efforts also it is reduced here. And we can design beautiful UI, because already we discussed above, it's a widgets are predefined, so that we can design a beautiful UI. And more widgets from the catalog, lot of widgets are created in this catalog available, and it is also platform independent so platform independent and high performance. So because of the loading, it's high performance. So these are the major advantages are there in this. So apart from this, there are some other advantages for the mainly for this or for the developers. So Flutter has a beautiful and customizable widgets, means widgets it has, and easily we can customize that. So customizable widgets, we can easily customize the widgets. And performing outstanding mobile application, it fulfill the user needs requirements. So many, it can be many, but why? Because it can be because all the widgets are auto loaded. So Dart language has large repository. First advantage from the language side is Dart language has huge community, huge repository it is. From there we can access lot of things from this. And developer need to write just in a single code base for the both Android and iOS. We are writing only single code base. And a Flutter needs lesser testing, because only one code base. Once we test, it can be work in Android and iOS. And with Flutter development, team has full control of layouts as well as the widgets. So Flutter has a amazing reload feature, that is reload. Its auto reload feature is there, that can be easily, it can be available. Widgets can be reload without any disturbing the UI. automatically it can be reload whenever it's required. So this is the main advantages. So anything has some drawbacks. Here also it has some drawbacks, but what is the drawbacks? Not from the drawbacks in the sense it is not from the application side, it's from user side. How it is? What is the drawbacks? See, as a developer, I know Android or someone has no iOS. Let us consider. Then for me, it's a new language. I need to learn that language. Then only I can write this easily. But it's not a problem. It's already I told. It's a easy, simple. We can learn. So that is, and it's a modern frameworks try to separate logic and UI such as possible. But in Flutter, user interface logic is extreme to overcome this. Smart coding using high level model separate interface logic. So it's just simple. Anyhow, new language, it will take little bit time to understand that. Flutter is not yet another framework to create mobile application. Developer have hard time to choose right developer tools really easily segmented this. So there are only this I'm saying this development side drawbacks, not from the Flutter drawbacks. So this is about this Flutter introduction. So in coming videos we will see the next steps of this. Thank you for watching this. Please subscribe to get more updates. Thank you.